die like I never lived. I want to live like I'm dying.
Sean Crewmay, author, producer, and founder of Love Plus.
On a mission to get people to master their minds and elevate their lives.
If you go out and get a job, your intention is on yourself. It's not on your family. Let's be real here. So you take one income that's enough for one person, then you go home and you split it up with 3, 4, 5 other people. And then you wonder why you don't have the money. It's all about community. Because now when you put people together, people tend to do more for others than they do for themselves. You got the possibility to be a million other different versions. Why are you choosing to be this one? Calm down. You already know what you need to do. I lost both of my parents growing up. My dad was murdered. My mom, she had 13 brain tumors, a collapsed lung. Before she passed away, she told me, she said, never let my sickness become your weakness.
In the past 2 years, what was the darkest point of your entrepreneurship journey?
The darkest time is, like when I was young, my mom, she took me to the studio. We used to make music, right?
What kind of music?
It'd be hip hop music.
Okay, so you rap.
Yeah, I was rapping.
Let me hear a couple verses. Let me hear a verse.
Rose from the city in the jungle, concrete. All men, I had to hustle. Get it up, speak up, don't mumble, don't crumble. I can't fall, matter of fact, boy, can't stumble.
Yo, welcome to the Attractive Mindset Studio. Listen, we got a special guest in the building, y'all. Like, this man, the moment I met him, we immediately, like, within 2 minutes of sitting next to each other, start chopping it up. The vibe was real. The love was real with a V. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just authentic relationships, authentic connections, and understanding the person that you're having a conversation with. And this man is just, you know, well sought for around the world. He talks to everybody, talks to, you know, every type of human being, but not to you just verbally. You know, he talks to your mindset, and he really has content that digests with the soul. And you have to really have that kind of connection with him to understand, like, yo, it's for the betterment of humanity is what we're reaching for at this point. So I'm gonna let him introduce a little bit more of himself. We got Mindset Mogul in the building, man.
I appreciate you. I'm gonna snap it up and clap it up for you real quick because that was a great intro.
Thank you.
So my name is Sean Crewmay, also known as Mindset Mogul. You know, I'm here to help people take their mindsets, turn it into a tool set to create those cash flow assets. So it's all about becoming more effective in less time, utilizing strategic partnerships to create multiple streams of impact that lead to income, right? And for me, most people want to get a job and they want to, you know, get what they want at the job, maybe retire within 40 years. I really want you to retire in half that time. If you want to retire in 40, let's retire in 20. If you want to retire in 20, let's retire in 10. You know, if you 50 and you want to retire in the next 10 years, let's retire in 5. You know, but let's create this atmosphere where we can make 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures in a day. Let's create this atmosphere where we could change our relationship with ourselves. Let's create this atmosphere where we could change the relationship with others and also change the relationship with money. So that way we can go out there and create a legacy for ourselves. So that's really what this is about. It's all about transformation and leadership and obviously selling. The first person you got to sell is yourself. Sell yourself on being the best version of yourself. And that's where we at. So that's how we got here today. I wanted to be the best version of myself. I went out, met you, and now we're like kicking it and having a great rapport, bro. And I'm excited to be here right now.
Nah, absolutely. I'm glad that you know, this man extended his stay. That's how you know when the authenticity is real. Like, yo, I got a flight to leave to go wherever you got to go next, but he stayed in the state of Florida and made sure that, you know, he popped up on here making things work. And you want to be around people that make things work. You know what I'm saying? People that, I don't know, because opportunities are often missed by the fact that we think that they're always there. And people are ignorant to the fact that an opportunity may always arise, but it may not be the same opportunity that presents itself. And so taking advantage of things that happen in the moment are lucrative. And so, you know, just appreciate you for just taking your time to be here, you know, with everything that you have going on. And so I want to start by taking it way back. And so we from the same city. Yeah, I'm saying New York in the building, 718 in the building.
Yeah. Can I get a year?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
So
what it is.
I know how growing up in New York was for me back in our time. You know, first off, what are your roots?
Yeah, man. Growing up in Brooklyn, 718, Was a good opportunity for me. It was good. Originally I started out in Crown Heights.
Okay.
And I moved around the city, East New York, Bed-Stuy, Bushwick, a whole bunch of different places, Manhattan, Queens, and you name it, right? But my family were religious.
Okay.
So grew up in a religious family where it was about God, it was about love, it was about connection, it was about family. And I had a lot of family who were friends. And I didn't know they were friends at first, but they were friends of like my grandma, right? And then they became cousins, right? From their parents, right? They had children that became cousins. And then I had other family who, like, even friends who grew up with me in school, they lived with me too. So my family was comprised of these pieces of other families, right? And this, to me, the roots was everywhere you go, you could have family. And so, growing up in there was dope, but I lost both of my parents growing up. My dad was murdered, like, in front of the building when I was barely 2, so a place that, I looked at, had to walk in and out of, reminded me of something that was so tragic, but I didn't use that pain to like pull me down. I used that pain to turn into power to pull me up. So losing my mom, she had 13 brain tumors, a collapsed lung. She ultimately passed away. She was one of my best friends. She taught me something that was special. What she taught me was be the best version of yourself. Before she passed away, she told me, she said, never let my sickness become your weakness. So during this time, I never used to want to share my story growing up. So I went to 7 different schools in 9 years, right? I never wanted to share my story because don't let my sickness become a weakness. I'm thinking that was a weakness to share my story, but I later found out sharing my story became my strength. I started doing music, sharing my story, a little bit of music, but that was more entertainment. But once I started speaking to people and letting people know what I've overcame, that's when the light bulb hit me like, wow, my strength is overcoming obstacles. When you talk about obstacles are often opportunities. I didn't know that at first. That's what I was doing. But later on, I figured out every time I never made excuses. It was just me figuring out the next opportunity within this obstacle. So fast forward now where I'm at here, I'm thankful for my roots. I'm thankful for the time that I was raised in Brooklyn and I did everything I could do to be the best version of myself, had the religion. And now I'm just a spiritually guided person who's out to just pouring love to everybody, including myself. So.
Nah, that's powerful. And so when you say spiritual, there's a lot of different meanings to the word spiritual nowadays. And when you mention spiritual, and what kind of way is that? Is that more in a religious spiritual way? Is it more in a connective spiritual way? Is it more in a ancestral spiritual way? Like how do you represent that?
Honestly, even if I think about it deeply, or if I think about it on the surface, it encompasses everything. Right? When I say spirit, what is spirit? Spirit is just breath. Well, what is breath? Breath represents life. If you're able to breathe, you're living. You have spirit. You have spirits. So now the spiritualness comes from, are you acting in the present of the breath? Are you acting in the now? So religion, all of that stuff is around us. So you can't help but to pick up some of it. Everything else that we hear and whatever we tune into, we kind of turn into a little bit, right? All of those things are here for us. So I'm a mix of it all. But what I like to do is I say, let me put together my roadmap of how I want to use everything that I've learned in my life. So when I'm speaking of spirituality, I'm speaking of love, right? I'm speaking of being able to share and connect in the moment of life. So for me, it encompasses everything.
Got it. Okay. And what age did you start to really start bouncing around to different schools and locations?
That started 11 years old.
Okay.
11 years old, like into 5th grade. That's when it started.
Into 5th grade. And so you bouncing around from school to school, how was your friend group?
I was always making friends. Friends were dope. I make friends and I got to leave my friends. So I built the habit of being able to love people, but damn, I end up being that person that has to leave people. So you don't really get to make as many true connections as possible. People just know you. They know of you really. They don't really get to know who you truly are, which is cool too, because as I develop, I realize I needed to know who I truly am, and people are gonna constantly get to know who I am. I'm gonna keep developing as I go. But yeah, man, I met a lot of people, but didn't get to keep a lot of people.
Got it. Did you go to college?
Yes, I don't really like talking about college because it's statute of limitations.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I ain't go to college, okay? Because sometimes there was these people hit me up in my emails. I ain't gonna say no names, but they was looking for some money, okay? And they would talk about consolidating something. I said, look, what y'all need to consolidate something else. But
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I went to school.
Okay.
I had education.
Okay. And so when you went to school, you know, what did you study? What was your goal in going there?
So my goal in studying first was communications and multimedia. So film production,
Gotcha.
videography, photography, website building, coding, those things.
Okay. And from there, what did you first transition into?
A photographer.
Mm.
Photographer, because at that time, I already made music. I was
Okay.
like, when I was young, my mom, she took me to the studio. We used to make music, right?
What kind of music?
It'd be hip hop music.
Okay. So you rap.
Yeah, I was rapping. It was a
Let
little
me hear.
hip-hop
Let me
music.
hear a couple verses. Let me hear a verse. Something. Acapella.
Let me see if I can pull something out of there. Do I got acapella? No beats? All right.
Yeah, acapella. Just a quick verse.
Hey, hold on. Get like, hey. Rose from the city in the jungle, concrete. All men I had to hustle, get it up, speak up, don't mumble, don't crumble. I can't fall, matter of fact, boy, can't stumble. I gotta walk right through it. I'm talking big jungle.
Yeah.
I'm the lion in the heart. Make it raw. When I do it, going hard. Everywhere I go, you know I give it all. Okay. I'm gonna live to my potential.
Mhm.
Did what I said, wrote it down with a pencil.
Yeah.
Drew it out. Had to use a stencil.
Mm.
Never traced it, but replace it. I tell you right now. Damn, I'm about to make it down right now. I came to Miami with the team. About to go back to the beam. I talk about Boston. And I get it in often.
Yeah.
Show you how I do it, because I'm awesome.
Yeah.
All-star. Y'all playing games, but I'm off them.
Yeah.
Worry about a hater. I'ma see you later. I'm stepping with these gators, but I'm plant-based, so you already know better taper.
Hey. Yo.
Nah, y'all
That's
funny,
good.
man. Y'all
That's
funny,
dope.
yo.
That's dope. Nah, that's dope. You know, being able to articulate yourself in that kind of way, that's a whole embodiment in itself. Like being able to express through words. And people have to understand that. Being able to freestyle, being able to think from your mind, connecting words, connecting verbs, doing things because you're not a herb. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
making it just flow, making it
Right.
flow is what appeases the people a lot. But nah, so doing the music route, why didn't you want to stay that route?
I am still in that route.
Oh, okay. So you got like an EP album
I
coming out?
I do got an EP.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, I learned something. It's called the element of surprise.
Mm.
If I reveal all my cards, I have no surprise.
Mm.
If I can surprise, but I can deliver, I have arrived.
Mm.
So I hold that card for when I need to play it. I don't need to play it right now. Right now, I'm still, working with this. I'm going to keep rolling with this, and then I'm going to put that out at the perfect time.
Got you.
Perfect time.
But is there ever a perfect time?
Yeah, the present.
Mm.
So
It's a
whenever,
gift.
right. Whenever like I get to, because right now I got a whole structure. I got to think about 20 songs on my EP right now.
Mm.
I think I want to separate like maybe 10 on one and then do two, like so maybe 10 on one, 10 on the other. So that way I can have like some things back to back type instead of just putting everything all out at once. But
Got you.
we'll talk about that on the back end.
Okay. And who would be your target audience for something like this?
It's people who are in the spiritual realm,
Mhm.
people who are entrepreneurs. So it's going to be more spiritual healing.
Okay.
Talk about relationships.
Okay.
And just dive into self-discovery. And then it's all about that motivation, acquiring properties, being able to become your own bank, going out there, changing your world, utilizing your mind and things like that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. And so to jump back into the photography, how did photography start to shape your life?
well, growing up, I didn't like to take photos.
Of yourself?
Yeah. I didn't care about taking photos of other people either. I just get in a photo. You a kid, you just,
Yeah.
But then later I realized I used to be going through some of my my relatives. They have like these photo albums of these pictures that they've taken over the years, and they could tell stories.
Mm.
It hit me, man. Do you know your great great grandfather?
No,
Why not?
I barely know my mom. You know what I mean? I barely know that side of my family. You know, it's this connection that happened and didn't happen. I only knew her from a certain age of my life. Like as an adult, I have no idea who my mother is, you know. But when I was younger, we were super close. But I didn't understand metrics of life at that point. And so I really didn't know my mother because I was a kid. She had an obligation to take care of me, and she did that. You know, but we know growing up in New York is wild. And so I got involved in a lot of things that I shouldn't have got involved in. And I did a lot of stuff, and I got kicked out of school and went through the whole riffraff for all of that. And she is religious. And so she picked a side. And she said, hey, I got these new little sisters of mine, and we're going to go to Atlanta, figure out what you're going to do with life. And that was it. She deuced out.
Sending you a lot of love, bro.
Thank you.
Because that's your mom. You're connected to your mom forever, bro. So I was just sending you a lot of love and healing energy through that too. Hopefully, you know, you're healing through that. And it's not affecting you in a way that could be detrimental to your success and your well-being.
It did affect me to a certain level, you know, and where real healing occurred is when I started to understand the relationship with my father. And he started coming back into the picture maybe like a couple of years ago. And he's never been out of the picture, but Jamaican Trinidadian father, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know where to find me. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't at the sports games. He wasn't at the graduations. He wasn't at any of that stuff. It was just more so, you know, pop up here, I'm here. And he was more militant. So every time we went to his house for the summer, you had to clean the same spot every day you wake up, you know, do all of that stuff, walk through that process. And if we lost fights outside, everybody got beat. You know what I mean? You had to protect your brothers and your sisters, and it was a lot, you know, but he showed super, super tough love. And it was like, what you crying for? What, you want something to cry for? And so growing up with the extra bravado-ness, you know, seeing him as the version of himself now, he's more so like, you know, he says it a lot often. And it used to, when it first started a couple of years ago, take me back a little bit, but he said, I love you. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, huh? And so I've always had that weird connection when people tell me they love me, whether it's a friend relationship or you know, a partnership with a female or whatever. Like, you know, just having that connection with people and expressing myself through emotions have never been my biggest strong point. And so, you know, but with him, I understood and I had a conversation with him because I asked him why. And this is when I already started diving into mindset. And he was like, we don't know what we doing either when we become parents. And he said, I just treated you how my parents treated me. And so in learning that lesson, I understood, you know, people change over time, and it could be for the better, it could be for the worse. And we never know, but it's up to us on how we put them in a certain spot or we judge them. And so I did try to rekindle things with my mother until I created my first company, ROV, in 2018. And the entire time, a couple years even before that, I was paying a couple of her bills and paying for a couple of things and whatnot. And she lived with a good life with my stepfather and whatnot. So it wasn't like she needed it. I was doing it to try to make amends because I felt like I was the bad son. You know what I'm saying? And so I put it all on me to do that, even though I was struggling at the time. And, you know, she never supported any of my stuff that I had out. I joined network marketing. I made 60,000 in like 90 days. Like I did all of that. And I'm like, yo, look at me. This is what I'm doing. And she just wasn't impressed. And then it was September in 2018. And I had met Dan, and I told her, I was like, yo, I'm about to start this production company. We finna do, you know, this and that. And she started laughing on the phone. And she was like, yo, what do you think you're gonna get? You think you're gonna do magazines? You think you're gonna get some commercials? You think you're gonna get movies? You think you're gonna work with some celebrities? Like, she's having a good old time laughing. And that was at the point in my life where I realized the power of cutting people off, no matter how close to them you are. Because some people want to fix things. I had wanted to fix things, but instead of fixing things, it was hurting me keeping that relationship. And so that was the last time I talked to her. I never blocked her on anything. I never cursed her out. I never said anything wild or anything, but she never reached back out either. And so it let me know my decision was correct, because she's clearly dealing with stuff in her life that she got going on that, hey, it's not me. And I was internalizing it for me. And so once I had to separate myself from that, we did get the magazines. We got Forbes, we got Vibe, we got Elements, we got a lot of things. You know, we got the hard contracts, the Denny's, the Bacardis, the PCGs, the Morgan Freeman, the Emilio Estefan, 100 Black Men of America, 100 Black Kids of America, National Black Farmers Association. We got accolades. And you know, at first when I started doing it, it was to prove a point to her, like, I'm not the same person that got expelled from school. I'm not the same person who got shot. I'm not the same person who got stabbed. I'm not the same person that grew up in the hood and just didn't know what was left from right, that was homeless for 2 years. We can change if we really want to over time. And so when that change came upon me, I lost all animosity towards her. And I started to feel bad, because she conditioned herself into such a mindset that she couldn't change because she don't know how.
Wow.
So
first I want to say, you did that. Snap it up, clap it up for yourself. Snap it up, clap it up for yourself. Like, you did that. I mean, actually, you should say, I did that, right?
I did that.
Because that takes a lot of courage. And you know the struggle it took for you to even just be able to say, you know what? Forget all of that. I'm just moving forward. Mom is mom. Until it's not. And the reason why I asked you, did you know your great-great-grandfather, is because most of us don't. And you explain why you don't even know your mom anymore. The craziest thing is that we got to get to know ourselves over and over, but also people got to get to know us over and over, because we're forever changing. And when I started taking those photos made me realize that these are snapshots of moment in time that tell stories, millions of words in one image. I'm creating a legacy. I want people to be able to see me when I was at my lowest. I want people to be able to see me when I was going through it, figuring it out. I want them to see me where I didn't know nothing about anything. As I look at you, I see me. As I hear your story, it's something different. But I don't have a relationship with my mom like that either. I have a different type of relationship, a mental one, where it's probably the best relationship. She can't do nothing wrong to me. She can't do nothing wrong to me. Everything she say to me, perfect. She gave me so many ideas. When I was going through my journey of my mentorships, my seminars about the transformational space and being in leadership, I used to hear so many different stories about how so many people got trauma from their parents. Don't be the firstborn. The firstborn automatically got the most trauma. That's the test baby. Everything get tested out on the first. And so I learned to have compassion. I learned to have grace with a lot of people, because you never know what they're really dealing with. And then I started understanding, okay, everybody wants to be loved, heard, felt, seen, appreciated. And when I seen this, to me, I have to do that for myself. So I've seen glimpses of it. I didn't understand it like the way I know it now, but I was seeing glimpses of it. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna start taking photos. Took a lot of photos. Start taking photos. And then from the photos, it started going to videos. Did it from going from videos, it was just of me. Then it started going to photos and videos of other people. And then from there, I was making impact and then making income from there. On photos. Yeah.
No, that's definitely dope. And so transitioning into, you know, I think we had a conversation about you doing things with like Netflix and Roku. You know, how'd you end up on that side of the house? So
I was in New York and I was like, all right, what I want to do is first of all, we had this opportunity to close on a property.
Okay. When was this?
This is in 2014. This started bubbling up, right?
Okay.
So 2014, my brother and I, we sat down and we said, you want to get in real estate? all right, let's see it. We started taking these classes online. It was online classes. All right. Opportunity popped up where someone's getting ready to go in foreclosure. I already can articulate myself. Remember, I already got the degrees for communication, multimedia. I know how to communicate to people. I know how to make a point and niche down a message to receive something out of it, right? So I wanted to receive an opportunity to get the property. So my brother's like, yo, you want to talk to him? All right, talk to him. I go talk to him. They're like, we're open to sell. I found their motivation. I found what it is that we could provide to them. And then, okay, cool, let's get a deal done. That deal took a long time, but in the midst of that deal, I said, you know what? Let me take a trip to California and I'm going to come back and we're going to continue our media production company and also get this property wrapped up and, just keep moving, y'all, keep moving forward.
What was in Cali?
And what was in Cali? I had a girlfriend out in Cali, but I also, it was an opportunity just to visit Cali.
Okay.
So it was my first time visiting Cali. So I took the opportunity to visit Cali. I went there for 2 weeks. I said, you know what? Let me stay there for a month and see how I like it. Stayed there for a month. I started living there. I say, yo, I will come back later. So I'm living there. I'm doing the editing. This is where I started realizing too, I can edit and not have to shoot because I got a team. They could go shoot. Let me just do the editing. And I wanted them to edit, but they was like, bro, we can't edit the way you edit, bro. Like, just, all right, I got you. Send Dropbox. Let me edit the videos. And it was flowing. It was good. But then it got to a point where I said, you know what? I need to sharpen up more of my skills. Let me learn a little more about graphic design because in school, they only gave us a little bit about graphic design. So I went to secular school for graphic design, online learning. I started doing all these graphics. I said, oh, damn, this is dope. I go back to New York and now we got a chance to get the property closed. So we close on this deal. I'm like, yes, okay, cool, dope. Close on this deal. And then I'm like, all right, so now what else now? I want to do something that I love doing. Graphics. So I looked for some jobs online and I've seen something that said, graphics for film production. And before you know it, I was making graphics for Netflix and Roku.
Oh, damn.
So when I started doing the graphics and stuff, it was dope, but I hit a brick wall. And I used to go into the bathroom, bro, and I used to cry in the mirror. At first, I didn't know what it was. But it was so quiet at first. But I felt something. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I could feel something. And people probably feel this every day when they get up to go to work. They probably don't want to go to work, but they feel something forcing them to go to work. And to me, I was like scratching my head. I started doing a deep dive into the movies because I could watch movies for free. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting down. I don't care. I'm good. I got money. I'm chilling. I'm reading and I'm actually getting some movie information. So then from the movies, I watched a certain movie that led me to YouTube. Now I go down a YouTube rabbit hole. And when I'm going down a YouTube rabbit hole, it's telling me basically this. Everything that we are for, like everything that I'm for, like all the things that I want to do, listen to music that's degrading women and have a whole bunch of girls and all this different stuff, right? Like it's really against me. Going to work every day, spending 40 hours a week. Think about it this way. You go to school, you pay $40,000 a year for tuition. You get taught, some information by somebody who's probably really only making $45,000 anyway, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You get out, you get a job. You only make 40-something thousand anyway. But I'm behind 140,000 because I just paid for 40,000 each year. Wait a minute. I've been tricked into working. I have to pay off the debt. I'm tricked into working. Now I have to work now. So I realized, wait a minute. It's not that you have to have a job. You just have to collect money. So during this time, like I'm looking and I'm thinking in the bathroom, I'm crying, I'm feeling all these things. And that whisper kept getting louder. And it was my mom's voice where she told me, you know what you need to do. So she was on her deathbed. I didn't know what this was when my grandmother came to me. She said, well, we're going to have to transition your mom. At this time, the whole talk was my mom wanted to come home.
What year was this?
This is 2004.
Okay.
So my mom wanted to come home. And this is April 2004, spring. So it's just weather starting to break a little bit, right? So they're like, your mom's not going to be able to come home. What we're going to do is transition her to a hospice. Hospice? What's that? That's a place that you send someone where there's nothing else they could do for you. Your mom only has X amount of days to live. What? That's a shock from, mom getting ready to come home to mom is never coming home again. I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, my voice is like a little crackly and I'm breathing heavy. And And she's calm as heck over there, just like talking to me. And I'm just like, tell me what I need to do. Like, you just let me know what I need to do. Like, whatever I need to do. She's like, calm down. You already know what you need to do. Don't pretend like you don't know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. You have the resources, go do it. That was the last words I heard from her. I never knew what she was talking about. Years later, in that bathroom, doing graphs for Netflix and Roku, tears running down my eyes. It makes sense why I'm crying, man. I'm crying because I'm not living up to my full potential. What she said, you know what to do. What she meant was, go out there and live up to your full potential. That's it. That's all. That's the instructions. That's for all of us. But you know what? We like to stay comfortable. So I had to break out of my comfort zone, and I end up leaving that job. So I left that job. I already had things working for me. I had a studio. I had doing music engineering, doing graphics, and I had an Airbnb. Plus, we just closed on this property in 2017 now, right? We just closed on this property and made 6 figures our very first deal by selling this property. This was a brownstone unit. We sold it for $1.2 million. This put us on in the game. Now, wait, hold up. 1.2 million? You just did a deal for 1.2 million as a young kid? Like, you adult, but you still a young kid, right? And then it's like you made 6 figures on your very first. All right, we on to something now. But that whole pandemic came and it made me shift to a whole different thing, away from the Airbnb, away from the engineering and all that other stuff. But that was that time period with graphics and Netflix and Roku. So that was a necessary stage for me. I didn't know that that's what it was, but going to California, then going to do that, then it was all part of the journey.
So, you know, what that makes me think about is, how did you transition to what you're known for the most right now, which is speaking life into people? You know, how did you transition from the real estate? Because we can all still do these things, of course, but where did you start making that footprint?
Yeah, so I've always been this type of person speaking, but I just did it in a way that nobody asked me to do it. Like, yo, bro, you say some stuff and nobody asked you to say nothing right now. So I realized that I wanted another level up. So during that time with the pandemic, right before the pandemic hit, this was 2019. This was 2019, early 2019. I had an Airbnb guest. He came over. He said, "I make music and I'm getting paid for it." I'm like, "Damn, I'm doing engineering, so I'm working for the music. I want to be able to have some residuals. So how are you doing this?" Yeah. He said, "Well, I got this major level up for you." His name is Vince. That's my guy, Vince Ferg. Shout out to Ferg, you know, right? So when he came over and he said this stuff to me, I was like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. But before all of that, every guest that came in gave me 5-star reviews. Oh, you're just so amazing. And before that, all of my entrepreneur rappers and artists that came over, they used to sleep there. So I said, they sleep here and I'm already, got this hospitality. Why not get paid to be me? Open up the Airbnb. So now they could book the sessions and they could sleep in the other room. All right, cool. Then I got another room, so I rent that out to a tenant. So now I'm making money 3 ways in one space. I'm more effective in less time now. I'm getting money more ways. So I'm like, all right, okay, cool. But I need to level up because it's not enough. So he told me to go to the place. I went to the Landmark place and I had a whole transformation. The day I walked in and I seen a roadmap. And it guided me to, it said, this is where you're beginning. This is where you will finish with this program. As long as you stay consistent, you have a full transformation. What I wanted to transform was the way that I was talking to people. Because I grew up in New York. You already know how it is. In New York, we talk harsh, but we mean well. Absolutely. But it just come off harsh. And growing up, I got used to it. So the way that I speak is just too harsh. I need to speak with more love. Everything that I did in that program made me look at myself. And I realized I was operating out of integrity because I wasn't in my integrity, because I wanted to be more loving, but I wasn't being that. I just was saying I wanted to do that. Had to transform from doing to being. So I was doing speaking. I was doing it. But then I had to just realize, wait a minute, I've been being this person, but now I got to internalize and really become this individual. So the whole brand needs to be speaking this individual. So when you see me, you automatically understand it. You know it, right? One umbrella. So, all right, cool. The umbrella was speaker.
Mm.
So let me go, because every time I met a person through my Airbnb, I'm speaking to them first. Every time I met a person through my engineering, I'm speaking to them first.
Mm.
Everything I did, I realized I was speaking to people first. And that was the reason why they chose to be with me, chose to partake in my programs or something that I was doing, my offer. So when I graduated from that program and I was one of the top students in the class, right, went through the whole program and really came out solid, different person. This reminded me, okay, now I got to create my reality. I want to get paid to be me. I'm going to speak. I'm going to tell my story. My story is no longer a weakness. My story is my strength. So I realized that my story is my strength. And this is what I said. I said, damn, I ain't know my story is going to give me my glory. Oh, wait a minute. Yo, if you start speaking, your story is going to give you your glory. And then I started to realize that that's what was happening around us anyway. We was all connected to stories. We are already speakers. Speak up. If you don't speak, you don't eat. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, all of this stuff makes sense to me, but how do I want to speak? I don't want to just be a motivational speaker, because motivation is temporary. Motivation wears off. Let's be real here. You get motivated, you pumped to go do something. Next thing you know, yeah, I ain't gonna do that. It's raining outside. I don't want to be motivated. Motivation is temporary. I want to inspire you. Inspiration is legendary. That's forever. That's legacy. You got to be inspired in yourself. You're inspired to create this brand. You're inspired to build your company. You're inspired. Nobody could take that from you. You can't get in the way of the man and his mission. So my mission was to inspire everybody that I come in contact with. So now I gave myself an assignment. I said, let me assess, assign, align. And y'all could take this gym down too. Assess, assign, align, right? Assess what's in your life. See what you don't want. Get rid of that. See what you do like. Add more of that. Keep going. Add some things that you like that's working for you. That's in your assignment. And then you got to give yourself that assignment that you have to stay in alignment with. What's your assignment? My assignment was to be the reflection of the world that I truly wanted. So who I am is the possibility of love, connectivity, financial prosperity. That's what I want to show up in my world. The same things I want to show up, I got to be. I got to be that. I got to be the reflection. So now when you see me, that's what I'm speaking about. That's what I'm doing. Inspiring people to love more, connect more, and really get their finances together. Because we all do. I still got things I got to get together with my finances.
Facts.
I'm still learning new things.
Facts.
You know? So when I realized, oh, wow, speaking is just me being me. And we should all get paid to be us, because God sprinkled a little bit of God's abilities in all of us. So some of us got great talents in jumping. Some of us got great talents in basketball. Some of us got great talents in speaking. Some of us got great talents in writing. My talent is speaking.
Nah, that's fire. And that makes me think about, how do you feel about duality?
I think duality is in everything. I think there's no one-sided anything. You can't find it. I don't think it exists. So for me, duality is necessary. So you have day, you have night. Without day, you don't have night. It just doesn't exist that way. If we just had day, it just would be day. But since we have day, then the night comes, it's this whole thing, right? It's this balance, polarity. So the same thing with life and death. If you live, therefore you must die. But if you die and never lived, damn, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to ever live and die. I don't want to ever die like I never lived. I want to live like I'm dying. So now I know everywhere I go, I must live that way. I must be in the present moment. And I now realize, damn, I was gifted with things because I started being in that present moment. So for me, it's really like now understanding that it took my darkest days for me to find my light. It took my pain for me to turn that into power. So now I just walk in my purpose. So the duality is necessary for growth. Duality is necessary for learning. So duality is definitely necessary.
There's an old question that asks, as a king, would you rather be loved or feared?
I'd rather be loved.
Wow.
I'd rather not be feared, because fear is a false sense of love. If I make you fearful of me, when I come around you, you can pretend like you love me. Getting fake, but you the type that'll stab me in the back. If I get loved, you might not fear me. You might say, damn, he. But if I'm loving you, you ain't got no reason to fear me. You ain't got no reason to feel threatened by me, because everybody wants to feel loved. So as long as I make them feel loved too, we're good.
Yeah. I mean, that it's an interesting question because I'm not even gonna say it because I don't even remember exactly where I read up on it, but the psychology behind it is people that love other people more actually die more.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes from jealousy.
Yep.
Because they see you, the gravitational force. You know what I'm saying? Oh, why everybody gravitating toward this person? Why they love this person? I don't have that. And so that jealousy actually breeds more hate, which is crazy how that paradox is, or how that contradiction is. Like, the more we love, the more people tend to hate because they haven't achieved that same level of love. And so it makes them outcasted.
Right.
And so my leadership style has always been an iron fist. I don't lead by fear, but I also don't lead by love.
Right.
I lead by necessity. And in necessity, it's more so of like a Mufasa. You know what I'm saying? Like a step out. I ain't dying to Scar though. You know what I'm saying? Scar gonna catch one. But
100%.
But at the end of the day, it's more so like community to me. You know, there's a few people in the industry, a few peers that we have. You know, I've had conversations with a lot of people, with Neo, with Maddie, with, you know, a lot of different individuals. And it always comes down to, how do I want to represent my community? And the main thing that I end up talking with them about is I make a lot of money, but I make way more or make way less than y'all do. And they're like, well, you just got to do this and this and this and this and this. And it always comes as like a little birdie in the back of my head. And I just had this conversation this morning. I'm like, I want to build my community. I don't want them to buy me. In this world, we need money. But do I want money at the sake of what I'm trying to build?
Right.
And that's always the main conflict for me, because like we had our conversation about the New Age Black Panthers. How do we really cement ourselves in a society where people need help? And a lot of the main instances of help that they need is up here.
Right.
And so mindset dives so deep, and everything is systematic nowadays. And so for us to work with somebody to really change that mindset, for the program that you went through, how long was that program?
That program, the first program was 3 days, which is all day. So 12 hours or something like that. I think it's like 9 to 9. Or 8 to 8, one of those type of things. Second program was like 30 days. And then the third program was another 30 days.
And so intently, you know, specifically focusing, if we were to chop all those days up into hours, the amount of hours that you put in purposely to changing, the average person don't do that.
Right.
When it even comes to reading a book, or when it comes to learning more about themselves, spending time with themselves, because we could also ask the question, when's the last time you spent 24 hours with yourself? No contact to the outside world, just you. And that's only 24 hours. Within 2 30-day standpoints, and even 3-day standpoints, that's more than 24 hours. But people won't do that because of the systematicness of society now. So when we break down our community and we start to look at, you know, metrics that are real, like the Black dollar leaving our community within 9 seconds versus a lot of other communities and whatnot. And it's going towards retail. It's going towards materialistic things. It's going towards, you know, the fancy stuff, the cars, the extra stuff, you know, and that's what our people end up wanting to see. They want to see, you know, in my PowerPoint, I brought up the metrics. Half the followers on social media are fake. More than half are fake or are bots. And so when do we have people that keep it real? And in this day and age of America, because America is one of the greatest places to be, and one of the worst places to be.
Mhm.
And I can say that from both sides of the fence. I went on deployment. I was in the military. I was actually overseas. You know what I'm saying? And so I understand what we fought for, and I don't know what we fought for at the same time. And I'm not sure if I really fought for the reasons they said we fought for. And so coming back and seeing how our communities are, yet we're quick to jump to help another community level up. I don't know if that's the right way. And then I look at the metrics, and there's a certain coach out there who charges our people $40K an hour.
Mm.
To me, that's SSA.gov metrics right there. Social Security Administrations. That we just make over that. $41,800 is the average that the Black individual male makes on a yearly basis, released as of September 2023. And so if you're charging $40,000 an hour, how is that person really drastically going to change their life?
Right.
And how do we really help them? Do we really want to help them at that point? Because does money signify help? Does money signify change? Now, I agree to a certain point it does, but what else are we doing? And how else are we documenting that process? And so it's always been that duality for me. Like money bag rich, when I tell people money bag rich, they're like, oh, you got all the money in the world, blah, blah, blah. And I say, when I made that name, it actually didn't relate to money. Money bag rich, the money part to me, currency, I always wanted to flow. So think of it like water. Money is water, currency, cash flow, liquidation. This is the words of money.
Bank.
You know what I'm saying? And so in us flowing in my natural state, money bag rich, that's one of my only tattoos, rich, that I have on me, is rich in life, rich in health, rich in wealth. This is the process of all of these things. 4 systems to mindset. You got your physical, your mental, your emotional, then your financial. And you need all of these. It's not just one thing. And so when I would tell people money bag rich, like, yes, money bag rich. Rich doesn't equate to the money. That's what the money has for itself. But rich is just the encompassment of everything. And so I said all of that to say, at what point did you dive into community? Because you have an app, Love Plus.
Uh-huh.
And in that app, from what you showed me already, you go in. And I've never seen anything like that really breaks it down for people to have challenges put on top of things, have, group orientations to put on things. Like, it's not just another thing you sign up for. It's actually catered to help the individual get better. You mentioned something about people even cleaning out their car. Mm-hmm. My trunk is dirty. And I was like, yo, I put it on my list. I could pull it up. I put it on my list. The moment you told me that, I said, I got to clean out my trunk. Right. I got to clean out my trunk. You know what I'm saying? And so what made you create that world?
Right. I want to touch on that real fast. But then I also want to circle back to the other thing. When you say you lead with an iron fist and I lead with love, here's why I lead with love. And here's why my take on it is slightly different from others. Most people who are out there in the front, it's like, yo, this is what I got. This is what I got. That's not how my approach is when it comes to me speaking about it. So a person's not looking at, damn, how you got that? No, I don't have this. Because if they got envy, they really hate themselves. They really look at themselves and say, damn, I don't have what you have. Now I need it. Give me that. Right. And Casanova got this song, I'm so Brooklyn. You got a chain on that I like it and I took it. Right. Yeah. So understand that that's not where I'm moving. That's where I moved from. So when I'm leading with love, the messages that I'm saying is that, yo, we got to do this together. This is about building team. This is about unity. When you talk about community, this is communing, right? This is community, right? You talk about togetherness. And I love talking about togetherness because that's where love is at. When the more I got to know about myself, the more I got to know about everyone else. People think that we're a lot different because of the media, but we're more alike than we are different. I know what could tick you off just like I know what could tick me off, right? Obviously, we got all different types of attributes. So you might easily get fed up with certain things and this person might be, less fed up with these type of things or have more tolerance. So for me, it wasn't about it being about me. And if I do talk about me, I'm talking about maxing everything. If you do talk about you, make sure you talk about maxing everything, right? So when you say me, make sure you think about yourself maxing everything. Now, when it comes to creating community, I can't do it on my own. All the money that you got in your pocket right now ain't even yours. Your money is not even yours. You fight, you got all this money you hold, it ain't yours. That same money that's in your pocket, you're going to give it to somebody. And it goes into their pocket. So it also matters where you're putting your money at, because the place that you put your money at could either stop your cash flow or continuously pour in your cash flow or circulate your cash flow, right? And when I talk about language creates reality. Language produces a thought that produces a belief. Belief is two-sided, that duality thing. And whether you believe you can or you can't, either way you take an action, and that action is the result. Yeah. And then that's your life. So I know that all the money that I want to make belongs to other people. So if I want to make money, I now need to change my mind from making money to collecting money. You can still say make money because it rhymes, got the alliteration. Cool. I'm a proponent for alliterations. But if you want to collect cash or you want to collect money, all of the money you want is in somebody else's pocket. What does that even mean? Not to be slimy or nothing like that. What it means, you need to be authentic and be able to connect to a person. It means that somehow you need to add what we call value to somebody else. In order for you to acquire the money that's in somebody else's pocket, you have to have value. If you're running out of gas, which one is more important, the gas or the money? Which one's giving you the more value right now? That some people don't like to fill up their tank. I fill up my tank all the time because I'm going to need it. Fill it up. So, but some people, I'm going to give up $50 or $20, right? I never understood putting 5 on it. I don't know what that would get you, but I don't know. I see people do it. I'll be like, okay. So, and what I'm thinking is, for me, you're going to give up the money because the gas is more valuable. Light bulb, going to give up the money because the gas is more valuable. The way that you acquire money is doing something valuable. Oh, snap. Money is a receipt for the value that you provide. Mind change. Money is a receipt for the value that you provide. The money that I have in my pocket is because it provides so much value. The money that I have in my pocket is because I don't provide so much value. Okay. Wait, hold on. What does this mean? What this means is something is happening with the people. Y'all want y'all to follow along with us. Get the common denominator right now, y'all. All right. Get your pen and paper out so y'all can, write this stuff down. Now, if I want to connect, right? So all the impact that I want to make, we know that impact leads to income, right? So if I make a great impact on somebody, you might get some good income, right? If you're a great worker and you have good impact at your job, chances are you get a raise. If you're an athlete and you make good impact on your team, your next contract is coming up, chances are you get a raise. Yeah. Okay, cool. So all the money that you want to make is in other people's pocket. All the impact that you want to make is in somebody else's heart. You got to find a way to be genuine, sincere, be relatable to somebody. So what did I just say again? What's the common denominator? Other people. Other people. Okay. All the potential that you're going to actualize is going to come from with who? Myself or being with other people? Other people. Wait a minute. Other people. Dang, this is starting to make me. Oh, I need other people. Community. So I start diving deeper into why is community important? God knows why community is important. We know God is all knowing, right? Yeah. Can you just have a child just by snapping your fingers or just saying I want a child? How do you have a child?
You got to communicate with another individual.
Other people. Wait a minute. So you mean in order to bring one person in this world, you need 2 people? So you take one person, they come together, they have a love, produces the greatest thing. Love is the highest frequency. You could create another being out of love. Or, you could just, get your nut off and create a baby. Like, we know that. But what I'm saying is it's going to take 2 people to create a child. And then now by default, what is that? A group. By default, we are meant to be in groups. Makes sense again, because your environment will change you before you change your environment. Why is that necessary? That's a group. Your environment is a group. Now you got a choice now, whether you want to stay with that group or you want to find another group and create something bigger and better, or something that's more in alignment with what you got going on. Yeah. And what I realize is if I'm going to get to a highest level, I need to create something for all of us to communicate with, because guess what? All of this stuff is borrowed. All of this stuff is rented. It's not even mine anyway. This life is not mine. These clothes are not mine. I'm just utilizing my cars. That's not mine. When I'm dead and gone, or I'll transition somewhere, are my cars going to disappear with me too? Or this somebody else is going to have it now? That blew my mind. Wow. So you mean to tell me I'm working so hard to just acquire things? And, one of my mentors told me it ain't about having things. See, God cares about us being, right? That whole thing about being, be, do, have, you know that. So now the whole issue is most people are just doing.
Yeah.
Instead of being. When you start putting people in a community, it changes their mind from just doing. When you isolate people, now you just got to do. When you go out to get a job, all you're really doing is doing for yourself. But you know what the issue is with a job? And it's not saying, because we all got employees, we're not saying that, y'all. What we're saying is this. If you go out and get a job, your intention is on yourself. It's not on your family. Let's be real here. It's not, because you get a job that's paying you. Your job is not going, how many kids you got? Got 2? Got 3? All right, we're going to pay you and your children. They're not doing that. They're going to pay you. So you take one income that's enough for one person, then you go home and you split it up with 3, 4, 5 other people. And then you wonder why you don't have the money. Because we're operating out of alignment, backwards, right? So what I realized is it's all about community. Because now when you put people together, people tend to do more for others than they do for themselves. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that for you. We rush to work. We driving fast. I gotta get to work. I'm almost late. Damn. But if it was for you and your own business, I'll do it tomorrow. It's for you and your own body. Yeah. That donut looking too good. And it's glazed. Come on, y'all. I could get one cheat day now. Just one. But if it was somebody else, you'd be quick to give them the word, right? Why is it easier for us to give advice to somebody else, but harder for us to take it on ourselves? I can't listen to my own advice. So, okay, what I realized also is that our dreams are too big for our own eyes to see it. You cannot see your dream with your own eyes. You need other people. That's what we talk about mentorship, and we talk about language, right? Sometimes God might be your first mentor. But God might be the mentor, but God is also the GPS, right? So God is not going to steer the ship for you. Y'all know about this. We say faith without works is dead, right? So you got to be the captain of your ship, whether it's the ship of your life, relationship, or entrepreneurship. You got to be the captain of your ship. You got to steer that boat. But God is the GPS. Your mindset is the GPS. God gave you the mindset. Your greatest tool in the world is a mind. But the most powerful tool in the world is a made up mind. Yeah, I want to go to Rich. And I want to go rock out with Rich, and I want to go chill with him and kick it up with him. But I got to make up my mind to go. All right. So the most powerful tool in the world is a made up mind. So now when you start putting people in groups, how do people make up their mind? Judging other people's opinions and judging other people's movements, then they make up their mind. So now we create a group or a community with high level intention, and we're all about love, energy, and pushing each other to the next level. Then we all assimilate to that, because what we tune into, we turn into. So when you're on that ship, right, most people are operating by themselves. So when they operating by themselves, they're saying, I want to be a millionaire, but they've never been a millionaire before. So how do you know how to get there on your own? You don't. That's why mentorship is important. Otherwise, you're just moving backwards. And if you look at mentorship and you break it down and go backwards, that ship torment. So you are tormenting yourself on your ship because you're doing it alone.
You know what that makes me think about?
What is that?
How do you feel about democracy? Because especially if democracy in its essence of whatever situation it is wrong. So let's say you get into an elevator, there's 10 people and they all facing left.
Right. You
get in the elevator, you looking at them face left. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
But the doors is right in front of you. You're going to face forward. How would you treat that kind of democracy, that kind of situation?
Speaking on it. That's why I think speaking is very important, because we influence each other. And I'll say this. When I think about it, it's more like these words, these thoughts manipulate my life. No matter whose thoughts it is. So I'm getting words all the time. I'm getting thoughts all the time, downloads all the time. But these words and thoughts and downloads manipulate my life. You came to me. Well, we sat down. We met each other. You said, bro, you should come to the podcast. Your words manipulated my life. This wasn't on the list. I was on my way to, I got a ticket for, to go home, right? Like, so your words manipulated my life. So, okay, cool. If I see everybody facing that way and I know I could, if I'm facing here, maybe if I just say one word, maybe it might change the perspective. So democracy could be dangerous because democracy could really be a dictatorship because of the understanding that people move based upon group. People make their decisions based upon other people. Most people, not everybody, but most people do that.
Yep.
So I think somebody already knew that. So they say democracy. So now everybody's looking for each other's hands. When all the hands go up. So there was this study, right? They had like 3 actors, right? In the beginning, 3 actors, they brought them in and they did the sound test. Every time the 3 actors were reading the scripts, they were sitting down, they rang a bell. When they ring a bell, they stand up. All right. They stand up for a little bit, they ring the bell again, they sit down. They brought people in who don't know that this was going on. They just brought them in naturally. Hey, we're going to read some script. Brought them in there, read the script. They reading the script, bing. The 3 people stood up. All the other people sat down. They look around. They don't know whether to get up. They start getting up. So they brought like 3 more people in, right? And then now they did the thing again. So now all 6 of them get up at the same exact time. Now they remove the actors and leave the real people who came in there and with the scene the actors getting up every time they ring the bell. Now they brought 3 new people in. So now it's 6 people in there that doesn't know that this experiment is going on and they just reading the scripts. So now, bing, bing. Now the first three set of people, now they get up and now they get up at the time they read the script. So now the new set of people, they're looking around and there's only one person who doesn't get up. She just sit there and goes, and keeps reading the script. Everybody else, all 5 of them, they keep getting up. Nobody told them to do that. So why would they do that? Because they make choices based upon observation of what everybody else is doing. So when you realize that you could put somebody in democracy and you could train them up and it could be dangerous. It could be for their own detriment. Don't anybody speak up and share what you really want to do in life. Now, don't speak up. Just be quiet. Sit down. Don't be heard. And now you grow up with that mentality. Okay, that's what we all like. When we was at the conference the other day, and you broke down a small business is classified under somebody the entity who's making $7 million or less, or just less than $7 million. You're considered a small business. What does that really mean to you? Right? That's a good question because we are playing small. So if we create a group where everybody's playing big now, bing, bing, we all playing big. Next group that comes in, they see it. Yo, man, we not getting a quick 20,000. We getting a quick 20 million. 20 million? I just came in here to get an extra stream of income. I ain't trying to leave my job. I just want another revenue stream. Give me $200 extra, 2 million. Yeah, we going for 20 million. So now the mindset is changing. Now, when we got community, look at what we're doing with the generations now. Now the children who coming up, they got trust already laid out for them. You get what I'm saying? The reason why you don't know your great grandfather because he didn't leave you a trust. He didn't do anything that would allow him to be known. So when I started understanding all these little pieces are a piece to a puzzle, taking the pictures, taking the photos, being here in real time, being in the present. This is where it's at, man.
I'm gonna use
so
that.
Community, yeah, together we go. Together we going up, man. Together we gonna do this together, right? We're better together. Like if I came in, I got one mind, I'm dope. I could get some visions done. I could do some things. But if I had your mind too, Rich, damn, we elite, bro. 2 mindset brothers. We in here. We about to make it happen.
Facts.
Then we got the rest of the crew. We got Dan. We got Magic Vocal. We got everybody. We got my man over there running the thing. Like, yo, we lit now. That's the power of community, man. That's why we build community. So when they go in the community and they do challenges, we don't want them just watching videos. Because videos create this habit of you just sitting down doing nothing. So you wonder why you got videos in your email collecting dust. You wonder why you sitting around, you paying for course after course and you don't think it worked because you ain't working. Challenges are not anything that's negative. Challenges are chances for you to show your greatness. Let me let the work on you. When you talk about clearing out the junk in the trunk, yeah, because you got something that's probably in your mind that you didn't clear out that you can't fully live in the moment because you're thinking about that. You ever had something to do and you wanted to take a break real quick, but being that you got stuff to do, the break doesn't feel like peace. The break feels like stress because you think about it every second. Damn, I know I got stuff to do. Why did you take that break? if you know you got stuff to do and you know that break was supposed to relax you, but now it made you more anxious because you just wasted time and now you got less time to complete that thing because you're trained to be for what's against you and against what's for you. We put you in a group, you're trained to be what's for you and you're going to be for that. We're going to train you to be against what's against you. You're going to be against that. Now look at you shining. Look at you doing that thing. Tap yourself on the chest and say, I did that. My man just got his first 5-figure check in a day of north of $10,000, got an $18,000 check. Where was he doing that at before? He wasn't going to do that at the 9 to 5. No disrespect. I don't know who 9 to 5 giving out $18,000 check, but I'll just say it. You get what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Different level. Community.
Nah, that's major. You just said a whole lot, you know, and the part that stuck with me the most was you don't know your great grandfather because he ain't leave you nothing.
He ain't leave you nothing, man.
Said, ooh, whew. That was huge. That was huge. And so now with this community, outside of the challenges, what else do you provide for them?
Mogul meetups. So when we was in Miami, right, we got the Mogul meetups, got some of the students come out. We go ahead, get the information, but basically like the education, the entertainment, but then the engagement part, those 3 E's, you know that. So the whole purpose of that is to go from the Zoom to the room. When you feel, you make it real. So, okay, cool. It's one thing to know what's on the Zoom, but what happened when we get up in person? What happened when you see us moving in real life? See what we do. Okay, that sparks something in you. Like when we was all at the table eating dinner, bro, when we first got there, I didn't know your history, but I connected to your energy.
Facts.
Now, bro, we brothers now. It's rap. It's over now. We're going to be locked in now. We're going to be doing some things. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, that's the power of going from the Zoom to the room. So we don't just stay on a screen. We actually get you in the streets and be able to move because it's either the streets or the suites. You know what I'm saying? It's either Hollywood or homeless. Like, it's either you go big or you go home. What it is that you want to do. Be thinking high on another level. So we are giving them accountability calls where it's not just making sure you did the work. It's also expanding your mind a little bit, giving you an exchange from, you know, that entertainment that you normally watch where it's just violence and all of that to allow you a chance for therapy, a chance to be heard, loved, felt, seen, and appreciated. So we give them that opportunity to connect with strategic partners. Here's another thing. We offer dating. How many times? You know, bro, like we all, I'm gonna get a nice shorty. She look good. She got everything going, but she's not about the growth. She's not about transformation. She's just about whatever she got going on. That is a problem because most relationships fail due to a fact of growth, right? What we call attachment. Some people are attached to a certain way of life. Yeah. Some people are attached to a certain way of being, and you grow past your significant other. Then now you ain't gonna see her the same. You don't see him the same. But why not put y'all in a space where y'all could grow together? Why not, if you're single, put you in a space where you could meet somebody else that's like-minded? So we already got couples and connected and making good relationships. You know, honeymoon phase going on. We got to see longer enough to see what it turns out forever. But we got people that got married. We got people that's partner up on business. We got people that got ventures together, like, you know, doing funding, all these different things that is helping people out. But the reality of it is you got to help yourself out. So we help them change their relationship with themselves. We got a lot of how-to videos on there and all of that stuff. So it's a lot of love. The last thing I'll add to it is we got this system called Crew Coins. Yes, I named it after me. It sounds good though, right? Crew Coins. So as you invest into yourself, you get these Crew Coins back, basically like reward points. But we're showing you that when you invest into yourself, great things happen. You get paid when you invest into yourself. Just like they say, when you pay attention. That's for a reason. So now what that does, it allows a person to feel appreciated within themselves and look back. They got their stats like, damn, you know, I done moved up to the next level. I'm a star player. Next level, I'm an elite player now. So now you feel excited. What you could do with the coins when you get over 50,000 Crew Coins, you could trade them and get real money. So now you can trade them for real money. So we provide all those opportunities, the meetups, the challenges. We got courses, obviously. We got those things, but we change your relationship with yourself, help you change your relationship with others and change your relationship with your finances. And it's giving you a whole new transformation. So that's what we're providing, transformation.
That's fire.
Yeah.
We finna get my man Dan on that dating app.
Get Dan on that dating app. Come on, Dan.
Finna get my man Dan on that dating app. You know what I'm saying? Get him right. Get him a shorty thing going up here.
Yeah.
But
you want her to be in production? I got you.
Sky's the limit. But I saw a post from you. I saw 2 posts from you that really stood out to me. And you know, what did you do to be recognized by the Circle of CEOs? You got this award.
Oh yeah.
I ain't really read on it or anything, but I saw you got it. And I'm like, what is that?
So inside of the community, right? When I first joined the community,
Which community? The Circle
Circle CEOs.
Okay.
I joined the community. I didn't have to join the community, but I wanted to see what would happen if I do join the community.
Okay.
I joined the community. I made my money back next week.
Mm.
I joined the community. They said, look, $15,000. But if you pay today in full, $10,000, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Pay $10,000.
Yeah.
I go in there next week, make the money back. Made $15,000 next week with one move. So one move, they get in, they hear my story, they hear my testimony, they hear I got a lot going on, but I'm getting through everything, right? My mindset, I'm getting through everything. No matter what, nothing can stop me. I get challenges all the time, but like I said, these challenges are just chances to show my greatness. So they seem like, nah, this boy got it. This boy got it. So they in there. I'm over there like saying stuff, and then they giving me pitches to how to say it, and I'm like, all right, I'll say it that way, and I just start saying it. They like, nah, this boy, he got a gift. We gotta give him something for this. Like he's good. He knows it ain't about failing, because failing is just a first attempt in learning. It's just a learning lesson. So nothing stops me. I keeps going. My mindset. So I basically got that award because of my mindset. Mindset mogul, baby.
I like that. How'd you get that name? How'd you stamp on that name specifically? Mindset Mogul Crew.
So first of all, crewmate, my last name, phonetic spelling Crew, just put CRU. People call me Crew for short, right? So I've always been in the mindset, but as growing up, we created this brand. My brother started this brand, Men of Good Understanding Leadership Mogul, right? So our mom, she was the first, grandfather was the real first mogul, but our mom, that's our mom. So she was the first woman mogul that we know in our family, right? So she put hundreds of people on in her business, right? Like literally changed the community, changed our family's lives. She passed away. So we wanted to keep that legacy going because unfortunately she didn't have a trust. Yeah. Unfortunately, she didn't have those things that could keep the business running. She didn't have somebody in place that could take it over after she was gone. So the business fell. So we said, we're going to become the moguls. So we start going out. My brother become mogul. All right, cool. I'm filming around doing this thing. We all moguls, and we are branding ourselves as the moguls. So now we become mogul brothers. But me, I'm the one that's always with the mindset. So people be like, yo, give me some of that mindset, yo. So he the mindset mogul. Like, so they calling our brothers, right? So, oh, you the young mogul. Oh, he the mindset mogul. Oh, we get it. He the mindset mogul. All right. I like mindset mogul. Yeah, call me that. I'll take that. Call me mindset mogul. So that's how I started, right? Because I would go around after we finished filming. I'll raise my hand and be like after this, after we finish a production like this, I'll raise my hand like, yo, can I say something to y'all real quick? First of all, I want y'all to snap it up and clap it up for yourselves real fast, because without y'all, we couldn't do this right here today. So you are important. I want to thank you, bro. I want to thank you, sis. Snap it up. Look at it around. Like if it was somebody's birthday or something, look how y'all made him feel. Like I know it was his birthday, we celebrate him, but I want y'all to celebrate yourselves real quick. Because without you all being selfless and coming up and sharing that value, he couldn't get that love right now. So they'll be knowing me for the mindset. I'm pouring love into people. And to me, that was the most beautiful thing that I could do because I was scared doing it. My heart was beating. If you had a mic next to it, it sounded like this. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, damn. I say it anyway. Say it's scared. So, and then I would go into that whole spiel. And honestly, it was one of the best choice I ever made.
Nah, that's fire. And so I'm gonna make this a 2-part thing. If you
wait, hold up. You got that question in your mind already?
Yeah.
All right. So if I say something, you're not gonna forget it, right?
Nah.
All right. What was the other video? Like, what was the other video that made you?
Okay, yeah. The other video was you got like a ClickFunnels award or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's making $1 million in the business.
Yeah. How does somebody scale? And this is for the new business owners that we have here. How does somebody scale speaking?
Ooh. So speaking, you want to attach yourself to brands that's physical or digital. So as a speaker, I attach myself to brands that's physical or digital. So what I started doing was I said, you know what? I'm going to take what I created for my community and use it for other people's communities. So what I started doing was doing accountability calls. So create this whole accountability program. This is a entrepreneur it's a church for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
This is the mosque for the moguls. This is the temple for the triumphant. This is the kingdom hall for the kings and queens. And now bring a space where people could be heard, felt, and seen, but also give them a different perspective, change their mindset on different things, right? Because perspective gives direction. So what I was doing was attaching my brand to all of these different versions of digital products or physical products. And as we grew an audience. So now it's just all the people who came in through that funnel, and then they calculated, oh, you made $1 million. Okay, then you get the award. We could have really had more. We just didn't know about it earlier. Gotcha. So a lot of people wasn't going through the funnel. We was just selling. But then we realized, oh, you made $1 million. We could get awarded. And then they sent us the awards, and we went out there, flew out there, and then that was that.
And how'd you learn how to use a funnel?
Team. So everything in life is a funnel, by the way. And I started to study this. When you go into the restaurant, as soon as you open up that door, welcome to the second part of the funnel. First part of the funnel is whoever told you to come there. That advertisement part, that sign up there, anything that's on the door, the street sign, whatever. First part of the funnel, ad. You come in there from the ad. Once you open up that door, environment. So now you go from an ad to environment. So that's a funnel. You go into the funnel of the environment, and an environment allows you to customize. So add, customize, or what you will use is your imagination. So if it's already laid out for you, you looking at what is on the menu, or what can you have, or what can you do, you start using your imagination of what it could look like, what it could taste like, what it could be like if I had that. Just like y'all go in there, you go to the store, you like, damn, that chicken over rice. Oh, damn, that thing right there, that Chinese food, I don't know, something looking good. I might have to get that. So you start thinking about it in your mind, and that's all part of the funnel. Everything is a funnel. If I order Uber, the first part of the funnel is the ad. I have to go to the app. Yeah. Go to the app, find out what I want, click that. So funnels, this is not new. It just became digital. But funnels has been around for a long time. And if you want to sell, you want to put people in a funnel. You don't want to be the person that doesn't have the funnel. Here's why. You ever walk into a mall? You ever have like somebody run up on you, ask to clean your shoes, or one of the side products, buy my phone case or something like that? Yeah. How does it feel?
Salesy.
A funnel doesn't make you feel salesy. A funnel allows you to take the sales pressure out because you're the one that's going through it. Nobody's telling you to. You keep clicking there. It's a button that says click if you want more. You do that because now you want more. So you click on that. Okay, there's a button that pops up, upsell. Usually somebody buys this with this. That's your choice. You don't feel like you're being sold. When you go inside that restaurant, right? Or when you go inside that app, you're not feeling sold. There's no sales pressure. A funnel takes out the sales pressure. But if you're just walking up to somebody and you're like, all right, cool, yo, buy my product. Because that's what most of y'all doing. Y'all offering everybody and anybody your business without niching down your message. You got to niche down your message. It ain't really just about the market. I know people going to say whatever they want. I'm teaching something different, right? And I teach niching down your messaging. That niches down your market. Right? When you niche down your messaging. And now what happens is you take out the sales pressure with the funnel, and now you allow somebody to do what they already wanted to do anyway, which buy your product or service to enhance their lives. That's what the funnel does.
And because people tend to overcomplicate ads, now how do you connect ads to that funnel?
So, well, you just connect the ad to the funnel by driving the traffic to a certain source, right? So an ad can literally be you speaking. So I'll give you an ad that's real quick. If you text growth to 646-787-0689, I have an offer for you, right? I'll probably give you something. That's an ad. I gave you a piece. I gave you something to do. And you take that next step to do it. So if you got an ad, you can make it real simple, just like that, what I just said. If you want to scale your business, or you want to make money, or you want to grow your audience, all you got to do is send the word growth to this number, 646-787-0689. And then when they do that, now you could give them something else that leads them to the thing. It's all a series of actions, just a series of steps. That's all it is.
Okay. So now the two-part thing that I was going to say, we all have a journey that's always forever going, forever developing, but if right now at this point in time, I want you to look in this camera and what would you tell your mom?
What I tell my mom?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I would say, Queen, Goddess, you are amazing. You are beautiful. But I really want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for all the tough times, tough lessons. I want to say thank you for all the love. I want to say thank you for being you, because you planted a seed in me that now I could grow fruitful trees for my future and allow other people to be amazing as well. I'm changing generations just from one conversation. The conversation that we had when you told me I know what I needed to do. And I wasn't even as confident as I thought, but you were believing in me when I didn't believe in me, when I had no clue. So I want to say thank you for being the seed that I needed to help me grow. Thank you. I only had about 15 years with you, but they were some of the best 15 years of my life. And without you and your inspiration, I would never be the person that I am today. So I thank you and I love you and I appreciate you. You better clap it up and snap it up for yourself, okay? Appreciate you, guys. Love you.
Nah, 100%. And as in the duality of that, in this camera, what would you say to your dad? In this camera, what would you say to your dad?
So I'll say, I never got to know you. I never got to hear your voice from my understanding, from me remembering it. I never got to have those father-son days. But maybe what I got was what I needed. Maybe I was really here to help other children, other now men who went through the same thing. The stories I heard about you, the information that I got, you were somebody, something just like me, a person of love, a person of connection, a person of trust. And you've always given yourself to other people. I love the fact that they used to tell me stories how you used to help the elderly women with the bags, the grocery bag. That's something I still do. I still do it. So we got a lot in common. They also say I look like you. I look at the pictures and I see that. So I got you. I'm going to live through you. Your life was cut short. You passed away at 21 on gun violence. Somebody murdered you, took your life. Even if I was to die today, they can't take mine. So you live on forever through me now. And I got you, King. Because without you, I wouldn't even be here. So I'm thankful and I got a lot of gratitude to you. Love you. Snap it up, clap it up for yourself, boy. You did that thing and you picked the right woman to do it. You heard? So I appreciate you, King.
And now that you saying both of those things, you know, makes me think of a third part to that.
Yeah.
Being the combination of the parents that you had. Say something for your unborn children to this camera.
You want to put children on me?
I mean, if you want them.
Yo, damn.
If you want them.
Now you put me on the spot, because if I do have children, they ask me, Dad, you ain't want to say nothing about it.
It be like that sometimes, but
just in case.
Just in case, because videos forever. Just like you said, this is part of your journey. This is legacy.
All right, got you.
It don't even have to be just your kids, your family, because just like you said, you now live forever.
Right.
You're gonna have that legacy that goes on. So for those people that will see this 50, 100 years from now, what do you want to leave?
Your final destination is not your current situation, right? You won't be here forever wherever you're at in that same spot. I want you to know that things get better. If you have some dark days, guess what? That's only so you could appreciate the light. If you have some hate, that's so you could appreciate the love. I do want you to understand this, though. Time is temporary. Everything in this world is temporary. If we let go of the attachment of holding on to what things could be, we could always reach the person we want to become. I want you to be as amazing as you want to be. I don't want you to be like me, but be like you. One thing I ask, though, is lead with love, because love is the highest frequency. Love is the most powerful frequency in the world. If you operate with love, you can get anything done. So make a promise or make a commitment to yourself and love yourself enough to do the things that you need to do so you can get what you want in your life. This world is a reflection of you. So you have to treat people, you have to treat situations just like how you want them to show up in your world. Go out there, speak about it. If you believe in the Bible, the first thing God said, let there be light. There was some sound. So you have to speak in order to see. So speak it into existence and let it show up to you. Last thing is, you the best of the best. You the top of the top. You the cream of the crop. Look who you came from, boy. You better understand that. Look who you came from, girl. You better understand that, all right? You came from the best. Know that, believe that. I love you. And I want you to go out there and be the most amazing person possible. Become more effective in less time. Use your strategic partnerships. Create impact. And watch how all that income comes in. You got that. You did that. Yeah.
Nah, that's love. You know what I'm saying? Being able to create those moments that truly last forever.
Right.
You know, that's why we do things like that to make sure, because a lot of times a lot of people like to keep things like that bottled up. You know what I'm saying? As much as powerful as we are, it'd be the people that have mindset, it'd be the people that have the motivation, it'd be the people that speak that into others that still have a level of themselves that they battle that with. Because trauma is still trauma at the end of the day. You know, loss is still loss at the end of the day. No matter how strong your strongest friend is, you still have to ask, yo, you want to talk?
Right.
Yo, are you okay? Is there anything that you're going through? I'm here for you. And it's often the strongest people that don't get the opportunity to express themselves in that type of way. So I appreciate you just for even being vulnerable to do that. And that takes me to the next point of, in building this legacy and everything that you have going on and building Mindset Mogul, do you feel like there's a difference between Sean and Mindset Mogul, or are you one and the same?
It's the same thing. And the reason why it's the same thing is because I don't want to put on a front. I'll love and I'll put on a show because we're all actors in this world. But I don't want to be somebody different. I get a chance to be me. The difference is we all get a chance to be us. What does that mean? There's one of us. So if there's one of something, what does that mean if there's only one of something?
There's only one of one.
It's a one of one. What else? What else? Can't be copied. It's original. One thing, right? What you got? Right. So when you realize that I can't be copied, I'm original. I'm one of one. I'm born perfect. I'm rare. Bro, I'm amazing. There's no point to be nobody else. I don't need Mindset Mogul to be somebody different. Mindset Mogul needs to be Sean Crumey. Because when you see Sean Crumey, you're going to see Mindset Mogul. Sometimes it can get you in trouble. But that's where emotional intelligence comes from, right? You got to be emotional. You got to have emotional intelligence, right? And understand when to choose those battles. You got a girlfriend. You can't become Mindset Mogul to your girlfriend all the time. You're going to have to just be whatever she believes you to be. And that's just a lover, a listener. You just got to listen. But when you need me to speak, when you need me to listen, I'm going to still be that person. I'm not going to change. I'm going to evolve. But I'm not going to like do a bipolar switch on you, right? So for me, it's always going to be one and the same. And I realized that long time ago. But then I had to hone in my skill and understand when to be a little more out there and when to reel it back. But that's just comes with experience. So I'm always going to be Mindset Mogul, Sean Crumey. So it's going to be the same person.
Got you. You know, I often joke with some people and tell them, you know, I'm schizophrenic because I got three. There's three of me. You know, there's Darian. That's the regular uncut raw version of me. Then there's Moneybag Rich and there's Mastermind Rich. And you can have a different conversation with all three of those. And I keep it that way on purpose because at the end of the day, I have to be able to have a chance to unplug from what I feel like I feed other individuals, because the individual of myself still has a lot of healing and growth to go through.
Right.
And so my personas, Moneybag Rich, Mastermind Rich, although those are versions of me, that's not how I am to my everyday people. They see a complete different version of me. Darian is super introvert. I like anime. I like just playing video games. I like really sitting back and being isolated. And I've learned to love to spend time by myself. I can have a grand old time by myself, whether it's with my electronics or if I'm on an island somewhere just vibing. You know what I'm saying? I like isolation. I don't go to big resorts or anything like that. Like I end up getting, we went to Mexico last year, Tulum, and rented out some whole spot, pool on the roof, everything beautiful. I was in the middle of nowhere. I wasn't around people. You know, we had somebody come and cook, and that was my vibe. You know what I'm saying? That's what we really wanted to do. And it wasn't the resort life. It wasn't that. But now when people see Money Bag Rich, they at the end of last year, they saw all the exotics that we had. They saw, you know, this year we pulling up in the black car services all the time and all of that stuff. But then when you see Mastermind Rich, you have a conversation like this. I'm not wearing no jewelry. I'm not, you know, exuding that kind of personality. I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm usually always wearing my glasses, you know what I'm saying, off camera and doing that type of stuff. And so being able to shine in the fields where they need to be present has kept me on a sort of a sanity, you know, in a way, because there was a point in my life where I did go to the psych ward for a long time. After I got out of the military, I didn't know what to do. It was after my grandmother died. My grandmother from my mother's side was the only person I really had like a solid connection with. And she would write me when I was in the military and do all of that stuff. And I was so messed up, I couldn't even attend her funeral. And that was the person that I cared for the most when it came to family. And I went on a whole drinking binge. I went super, super, super down and racked up like $75,000 worth of debt, you know, all type of stuff. Navy Fed came in and we did a whole bunch of whatever. And because I was a veteran and all of this stuff, there's papers on it, you know, they cleaned it. And because my mind was wrong, within 2 to 3 months, I racked it all back up again. Literally. And because I was like, oh, thank you for giving me access to more money to hurt myself. And that's what I did. And I put it right back on there. And, you know, that started the element of my life of the perspective of cash flow. Because even till now, because I didn't have access to cash flow when I was starting my businesses and whatnot, everything that I've bought is without credit. You know, everything that I've got is without credit, you know, and so I had to pay people in real time. I had to pay for equipment in real time. I had to stack up lights. I had to do all of that in real time. And I was like, yo, life is hard right now. 2018, 2019, 2020. And somehow during the pandemic, we made more money. We made more money because we learned through the lack of credit or the lack of access to credit, how to really form authentic relationships. And I started to develop my mindset on doing that more. I had to go be that door-to-door salesman again. I had to go be that person that was going to go shoot the camera up front. I had to make that connection. I had to do that because I didn't have the money to, yo, I'm going to do 100 on ads at this time. I'm going to do 1,000 on ads at this time. I'm going to do whatever on this. I'm going to do that. And so it taught me a whole different dynamic, which is not a new dynamic to business, but it's become a dying art because of the digital age that we live in. And that's how I've grown my business. And so, you know, we have credit stuff now. And to be honest, we don't even really use it like that because it's developed in my mind like, okay, cool, you can leverage credit to a certain point, but that's still somebody else's bread. You got to pay them back and they want something on top of that, you know, if you don't have it. And so I understand the greatness of credit. And trust me, don't get credit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, leverage that. You know what I mean? But there is power to understanding the harder path because you always have a path in life that you can take. And that route for me at that time, well, it was my doing, you know, I had no choice but to take that path. But we all live a life in a way where we're destined to come up in whatever we want to exude. And the lifestyle that I want to exude is connectivity, being able to articulate yourself enough. And one of my biggest quotes is success has no dress code. And so I've never been the type that likes going into rooms with suits. I have suits. I do wear them. You know, I have, you know, things like that. I have dress shoes. I have all of that stuff and I'll wear them every now and then. But I like going into a room being underestimated. I like going into a room saying, yeah, I only got 3,000 followers on Instagram because I'm still a giant amongst the giants. And when they really get to know me, the people on the gram that have the 50K, 100K followers, million followers, they understand, nah, this is rich. This is mastermind rich. This is money bag rich. You know, a lot of them don't get to meet Darian necessarily because Darian don't really want to meet people like that. But them getting to meet those two personas, they understand, okay, this individual is authentic. And that's what I want to be remembered by. I don't want to be remembered by how much money I have. I don't want to be remembered by how much, I taught somebody. I want to be remembered by how authentic I was unapologetically. And I feel like that's my role in this world, is to bring authentic, unapologetic relationships back. Because in me being that way, I hold people accountable. Yeah. And some people take it positive and some people take it negative. But I'll tell somebody, what are you doing? Why are you wasting my time? Wasting your time? What are you willing to lose? Because everybody wants something in this life, but they never tell you what they're willing to lose to get it. And that's the main question I end up asking. What are you willing to lose for this? And it just makes us think on a different type of time, a different type of spectrum. 30-day mindset. We talked about that, really diving into that world and everything that you just been saying, man. Like it's just like, I see why I connected with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I see why we're here and we have different paths. Just like you said, you did the Airbnb stuff at that time, 2014, y'all closing a deal on this. I was on deployment. I wasn't even in this realm of business at that time yet, but see how life works. We end up where we're supposed to be at that same frame. I had the business mindset. I had all of that stuff still lined up and ready to go. I just wasn't executing yet. And so, I don't even know where I was going with that. I just appreciate everything that you've been saying because it's resonated with me a lot. Our stories have resonated a lot. Me getting to learn about you on a vulnerable scale has helped me a lot and worked me through some of the traumatic things that I had a hard time getting past even more. And you sharing that story. And that's why I wanted to create this. I never considered myself a podcaster. I still don't want to be a podcaster, but leveraging something to your strength, I can understand having a conversation authentically with somebody. And that comes back to my key basis of just being authentic. Yep. I don't look up pre-questions. I don't have pre-stuff. I might go on your page and look at a couple things and bring it up here and there, but I want to have a conversation with the person across from me. I want to be tapped in. I want to think of things in a moment and be like, yo, this is what I want to say right now. This is what I want to talk about right now, to let people know this shit ain't staged. This is real life. This is real convos happening in real time. You can share, you can not share. You can say, I want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. You can have a viral moment. You cannot. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to touch somebody else out there, because the emails that we've gotten back from some of these episodes, like, yo, you don't know how that person said that changed my life. And that's what means more to me than the views, than the likes, than the money, than the anything. And that's the real reason why we're 120 something plus episodes in, and we just started last year. Yeah. Every single Wednesday an episode drops. Sometimes it has to be more because we got pending. We got like 10 episodes pending. And so we don't want people to wait forever for the episode to drop. So we got to put extra episodes out. But that's my idea of really giving back to the community in that type of way of, yo, I'm trying to let y'all understand that there's giants around you that you don't even know. I didn't even know you before this weekend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the average person has no idea who I am, who you are, who we are. And so being able to give us a platform, people of color and specifically as well, everybody's welcome here, but people in color of who I want to touch, who I want to talk to, because that's our community. That's who we're going to relate to the most. It's not color, it's culture. Oh. That's who we're going to tap in with the most. I want to tap in with culture. I want to get us fired up to let them see like, yo, we can do this. You don't have to be this crazy, unreachable figure in life. You don't have to be I was going to say Diddy, but you can't say that no more like that. You don't have to be like, you don't have to be a Dre or a Snoop or a athlete or a whatever. You
Right.
could be somebody that just progressed through life and changed mentally, broke a systematic process and created a new one. That's it.
Change, transformation, like evolution. And for me, being here too is just is a gift. I'll say that. So thank you for allowing me just to be with you, just having a genuine conversation, because I always want to meet people. I always tell people this too, like, being that I don't know when my last day is, it's best for me to get out there and live. Right? There's a lot of things I could be doing. Like me and Magic Mogul, we say, let's go get on one of those speedboats just because. And inside the speedboat trip, we just keep thinking about these ideas that's compounding, right? And I want y'all to say this to yourself. I can do anything, because you can. We were on these speedboats. You're talking about this $1 million homes. Oh, I'm talking about $80 million. You mean to tell me somebody paid $80 million for a home on the water? Like, somebody, like, so now you're looking at these ships that's going by, and you see that the ship is bigger than like 5 buildings put together. Like, wait a minute, somebody made that? But we're sitting over here getting upset and complaining about our $19 an hour job. You mean I used to work at Jamba Juice. I used to make $7.30-something. I quit after 2 days because I knew you can't keep old boy out there. All right. I got to do something bigger and better. All right. So for you, what can you do bigger and better? I don't want y'all to think that you got to work harder. Most of the people that ever told me to work harder, they were broke and broke in. I want you to work higher. I want you to think higher. I want you to hold your head up higher. I want you to hold your posture up higher. I want you to see yourself as you're going up higher. This year is going to be your best year. This month is about to be the start of the best season of your life. Believe that. It's about to happen. The only way it doesn't happen is if you don't believe it. Gotta believe it. So we're seeing people make airplanes. What am I really saying? What I'm saying is this. Their imagination is out there. You're living in somebody else's imagination. Where's yours? Where's your imagination? Wait, hold up. Maybe I'm saying something that ain't clicking. Hold on. You got a cell phone? If you got a cell phone, that's somebody else's imagination, but you probably can't even live without it. Your cell phone go missing, your heart is going somewhere. My cell phone, you get a charger, you lose your charger. I need a charger. It's like crack. What I'm saying is, the issue that we're having as people is that we're allowing everybody else's ideas to rule our lives. But God put you on this earth to be a creator, somebody that's creating. When you stop creating, you start disintegrating. So in my mind, you don't have to pick up my lingo. You don't have to pick up what I'm saying and listen to me. But what if your imagination could change the world? What if you could create something that changes the world? The device that you're looking at right now, these channels, the clothes that you make, the clothes that you wear, everything that you ever partaked in or partook in was literally built by other people. The clothes that you got on when you walk outside, that's somebody else's idea. You're wearing you getting fly in somebody else's idea. You looking good in somebody else's idea. You getting fame and notoriety on somebody else's idea. Where is your idea? Use your imagination. Your imagination will change your situation for future generations if you allow it. We're talking about legacy here. You got that. You could do it. Let's go. Let's get in there and put some work in, because guess what? We got work to do. Work ain't done yet.
Anybody ever told you look like Chadwick Boseman?
One time. That was you. That was you. I get Jason Derulo, all those other things that ain't close. Oh, Jason. Oh, you believe it too? You believe the hype?
Jason Derulo just hit. I
You
wasn't thinking that
you
way.
believe the hype, yo. Tag Jason Derulo on this post. Tell him to do a collab with me or something.
Got to. At the end of, you dance?
I could dance. Bust out a move or two. We from Brooklyn, you know.
You're right.
Come
You're
on.
right. You're right. My fault, King. My fault,
All
King.
right.
So
Shoot.
the last thing that I want to say, because I love when we get towards the end, but not the direct end, because I love giving things back to people that actually watch, like watch.
Mhm.
And so this segment is called Gem Drops.
Ooh.
And so during Gem Drops is where we give people the sauce to literally start whatever it is they want to do today.
Mm.
And so for your category of speaking, if somebody wanted to get into speaking over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, what is the first process that they have to do to start getting booked for more speaking gigs?
Before I would say getting booked, I would say just write down your timeline. So your timeline of events, of things happening. Your important things in life. First day you went to school. First breakup that you had. First achievement. Goals. Anything. Write down all of your events that happened that's significant to you in a timeline. Second is start to remember those things. Get to tell your story. So when I come up and I talk about me losing my parents, I went to 7 different schools in 9 years, had gastroesophageal reflux disease, lost over 55 pounds in 41 days. These are the things that you need to add because that's the story that people connect to. Then everything else from there can work. Now, when it comes to you getting booked, all you really got to do is now have a reel. Have some like highlight tape, which basically like a resume, but it's just a video. So you stand up there, speak, and tell your story. And tell why, like, so if, for example, if it's like for a school, because you can get booked at schools faster than you can get booked anywhere because it's free. And some schools got budgets, but most schools are not going to pay you. So like, especially when you first start out, but you could use that as your testimonials. You could use that as the things that help you start to elevate. So you could just literally tell your story and say why you're saying it. Like for children, I'll say this, something like this. I went to 7 different schools, 9 years. Why? Because you might be a child that you probably going through a lot in school right now. You might be moving from school to school or place to place. But guess what? Everything's going to work out for you. See, when I was in 9th grade, I had a 65 grade point average. That's only 1 point over failing. So I barely passed. The next 4 years, the next 3 years, I went to 3 different schools. During that time, I realized the only person that was stopping me from getting great grades was me. I didn't believe that these things could transform my life. From there, I had a 99 grade point average. At the end, when I graduated, I had an 89 grade point average because you had to average in that 65. I messed up on that 65. I would have been valedictorian, but I was only in the school for 1 year. And the girl who got it, she was in school for all 4 years. So that was part of the rubric. You have to be the longest tenure in the school. She was 4 years. I was only there 1. And I had 99 grade point average, but I finished collectively. Okay. And it was an 89. So I got salutatorian. So for you, that could be you. You could be that kid who people doubted you. You move from place to place. But guess what? If you focus on the greatest outcome, you being the best version of yourself, you getting that work done, then you could stand on the stage and be appreciated. Stand on the stage and have your awards and stand on the stage and be that star player. And you can share a story just like that. And the person that's watching the video, them themselves are going to be inspired by it. Because 9 times out of 10, they were not the valedictorian. They were not the salutatorian. So now just because they like your story, they can relate to your story, they book you. You get the bookings, you get somebody, you get a cameraman, got the cameraman follow you around, clip that up. All right, now you can start sending that out to other people. Now you can go into to places where they actually have designated space and time, which is usually fall time. Usually in the fall time where they have people to come in to speak. And if you get really good, you could become keynote speaker and speak like in June and May. So.
Copy. Okay. And then the last question I would have is, we always make it through 100% of our worst times. And so in the past 2 years, what was the darkest point of your entrepreneurship journey? The stuff they don't see on social media.
The darkest part is, and this is me like just hearing this, y'all. So I'm gathering these thoughts. So the darkest time is figuring out how to get to another level. So you already created an identity. How do you not go back when you feel yourself sliding back? So when I came from, at that point, if we go 2 years, so 2 years, like I'm 2 years removed from that last time I had only $300 in my pocket, right? So at that moments where I'm thinking, what's my next move? How do I elevate? How do I get to another level? I'm like feeling myself sliding backwards. Like, oh no, I can't go back. I can't go back. I'm getting down to, double digits and thousands, right? Like 10,000 now, that's my threshold. Like I can't go lower than that, right? So now I'm looking at it from a standpoint of what do I need to do to get to another level? So during those days, it was all about me locking in. I would be sitting in my same seat for like 12 hours. I'll wake up, I'll get on the computer. I'm figuring out what would work. I'm studying, I'm listening to meditation. First of all, when I first wake up, listen to meditation, get in the shower, listen to meditation. When I come out, I got these audios playing. I'm listening and wondering, what could I do? I'm writing everything down. I'm talking about a whole bunch of breakthroughs. I don't got my phone. He got my phone. I would go and show you. I got a boatload. In fact, let me see my phone real quick, King. The iPhone. Good looking. So I would go in and I'll be sitting down and I will be writing down every single breakthrough that came to my mind. I got tons of notes, tons. Look up, that's not even going in and scrolling up on them. That's just the notes.
How long is the day separation between those?
Day separation, it's every day. Right? Some of them you might get like 2-3 days type of thing. And then as time goes on, you're going to have a little more separation. But not only that, King, let me show you another one. I'm literally sitting down from like this 10 to 12 hours locking in. What is this? Hold up. There you go. So let me scroll back to the top. These are all notes. This is just for you. The camera probably not gonna see this, but this is
to yourself.
Yeah, notes for me. Just notes. No, that's on top of all the notes. And the notes I just showed you was the titles. That wasn't going in it like how it's looking like this. You get what I mean?
And what are you saying to yourself?
I'm saying everything that's a breakthrough. So let me just read something that I'll stop on real quick. Okay, ordered in your circle. People, places, and purpose. So I wrote this down. I said, who do you want around you? Which kind of people would you like to see your higher self around? Which kind of people are you currently around? And I go into breaking down, you got to audit your circle, right? Not only are you auditing the people, but you're auditing the places and the purpose of you being there, because you always hear on the news, kid got shot, wrong place, wrong time. Good kid, he never was in trouble, but he's wrong place, wrong time. I don't want to be that person. Right. But also I know that if you hang around 5 broke people, you become the 6. I don't want to be that person. I also know that your circumstances are based on the circle that you're standing in. So you have to audit your circle. So I started auditing my circle, not just the places. Why am I hanging out in the projects? Just because my bro's in the projects? You know who I am now? I can't be hanging out in the projects, boy. Like, no, it's real talk. Facts. So like I stopped doing that because what's the purpose of it? So I have to be in alignment with a purpose now. That's another thing. Real quick, I'll read one last thing. Let me see. Negatives versus notifications. So one day I had a revelation. The revelation was I could take it as a negative or I could take it as a notification. See, the money that I don't have in my pocket is not a negative. It's a notification. I should work harder in that area. I should think higher in that area. I should think smarter in that area. So let's read what I wrote down. I said negatives versus notifications. You could choose to see all the negatives in a situation. You could complain, let it stop you, create excuses. It could slow you down. You could choose to see the negatives, or you could choose to see the negatives as notifications, areas of improvement to speed up your progress. So when I realized that, I'm like, that's a bar. I'm going to live like that. It was a breakthrough. It was something that happened to me during the time where, I'm going through that darkest time where it's like, damn, I'm sliding back, but I really wasn't sliding back. You know where the money was going? The money was being invested in different places. The money wasn't being spent on things that were stopping my cash flow. It was being put in things that was seeding my money. So that way later I could have money that grows. Right. So that's what that was. So during my darkest days, thanks, King. During my darkest days, like I said before, I was finding my light, writing down all of these breakthroughs, and something like that, negatives versus notifications, changed my life, bro.
That you're one of the first people that I've met that do stuff like, let me see my phone, Dan.
Uh-oh, about to do the twin thing, right?
You know what I'm saying? Let me see my phone then, because it's crazy. Like, and this is why we had this is how you know authentic relationships with people. Like, yo, these are my notes.
Yeah, he going in. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's
I do
go.
the same thing. If I go to this is 2018.
Dang, it's going back
This
in
is
history.
2018. 2018.
Yeah,
Now,
I ain't
I'ma
have an
just
iPhone,
read
bro, to
something.
2021. So
I'ma
that's
just-
all 2021 stuff. The ones
I'ma
before
just
that,
read
that's in
this.
my email.
But matter of fact, let me see. What do I have in 2020, 2021? We're going to synchronize it. 2021. 2021, observe, don't absorb. Everything isn't meant to be ingested. Consistency over intensity. Intense is running a marathon, writing a book in 30 days, cramming courses back to back. Consistent is not missing a workout for 2 years, writing every week, working at your craft every day for the next couple of years. I want to be intense. Intensity makes a good story. Consistency makes the most progress. Like, that's how I've been doing this for a long time. And that's why I tell people, like, before I started physically making the business, I was the business here. There's a video I just found on Facebook from like 2011. I made my first company ever, and I wanted to be fly, and so it was called Future Legends International. I was fly. I was a CEO of being fly. You know what I'm saying? And so I had a little suit. I had joined this network marketing company called Amway, and
Amway Global.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I was selling them products. Yo, change your toothpaste. Yo, do this, you'll do that. And the amount of no's that I got doing that company, the amount of crazy stuff, and people like, yo, give it up, bro. Like, just get a regular job, do this and that. And I'm like, man, listen. It was the self-development. Like, they taught you how to read those books to really just develop your mind on the next level. And I didn't make that much money in that company, but it set me up for the next network marketing company where I did do a certain amount in 90 days, and which set me up for my business where I did do a certain amount in, a certain amount of time, which set me up for the next business, which set me up for Attractive Mindset, which is right here, right now. This company just made last year, and us doing numbers in a certain amount of time, and the route that I choose to take is the harder route naturally. And people are like, yo, you can save so much money, you could do so much more, you could do life easy, because they get a lot of VAs. They get a lot of VAs, and it's only $4. I pay this person over here, it's only this and that. I have to stand on what I wrote, stuff that I wrote. I know I have notes where I'm talking about, yo, stick to community. If you really want to help people, help people. My goal in starting ROV Productions was not only to take production to a next level, but I never wanted to be censored, for one. I wanted to have a control of media in some type of way. I was never passionate about photography, videography, none of that type of stuff. Yeah. I wanted to have a foothold in media to speak my mind, because that's what's getting censored nowadays. And then the other part was, I want to help Black individuals come out of 9-to-5 situations and do what they love to do, or do what they like to do, and give them the option to do that. And so with that, I don't have any VAs. Every single person that I have in my company, ROV, 54 people. In Attractive Mindset, we have 5 people now, 6 people now, whatever. And so it's like, these are all real people that's here in this state, that's all doing this type of stuff. And I do that for a reason, because it might cost more money up front, but you build community in real time. I can't build community with a VA in Pakistan. I can't build community with a VA in the Philippines. They might get the work done on the back end, but what do we really want to do? What's the message we really want to say at the end of the day? I'm niching down my message. My message is direct community. My message is authenticity. Being authentic in my direct community. Nobody can ever come to me and say, yo, Rich was doing this and was doing that. This is real time.
Right.
I got a real location here in New York that you could walk into, that you could go, yo, okay, cool, we here. And so that's what I want to exude at the end of the day, is just that level of all right, cool, we here. And it's taking me a little longer. And that's the message to a lot of y'all out there, that sometimes it's going to take you a little longer when you stick to your ideals. Because the lesson that I taught, perception is not reality. Or is it? We all have different perspectives. There's a million ways to make $1 million. And it's okay. Some routes take longer than the others. That don't mean you're wrong. And that's the message.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Last thing I want to say about the speaking is the guided meditations, but you brought me to something. You said they were paying VAs $4. I think my VA hustling me. I pay my VA way more than $4. Let me get some of that back. Let me get a bonus. No, I'm joking. I love spreading the love. So for me, the guided meditations, because you didn't ask me about this, because I don't think I put that on my Instagram, but the guided meditations is what also I'm known for, right? These guided meditations help people change their situations now just through mental, because I take them to a space of nothingness. That space of nothingness, the quantum world, right? We all create everything that is in existence in here first. The microphone, the cameras, everything was created in the mind first. Even when we put on the clothes, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get that. You get it out the closet or whatever. You're like, I want to wear that. It starts in the mind first. So we guide them to the space of nothingness so they can remove the junk, the clutter that's in their minds, and open up what is new so they can receive, right? So what do you need to give up? Which things in you have to die so that way you can reach your greatest potential, so you can give birth to you reaching a new level, right? Which things do you have to give up in order for you to receive what it is that you truly want? And the guided meditations allow a person to see in real time. So many people cry. How many people cry off this? Like I'm about to tell you, grown men, women.
And what is it exactly they're crying from?
They're crying because they come face to face with their choices. They're crying because they come face to face with the reality that themselves is the one that's in their way. Imagine if you thought this whole time the world is against me, people don't want to see me win, I just can't get a break. And then one day you realize you were the one doing that to yourself. So I have them take a look at their younger self and really have a conversation with that 7-year-old, 12-year-old, whatever version that, where the trauma may be there. But then I also have them have a conversation with their higher self, who they could be. But I now take the perspective from them looking at their current self and have them look at their higher selves and be their higher selves rather, right? And now from the higher selves, you're talking to your current self and your younger self. You see side by side who you were being as a kid and you thought you was going to be growing up to who you became. And if you became somebody that you didn't think that you was going to be, that's hurtful. I was not, because you know what did my mom say? You know what to do. Go out there and reach your greatest potential. So you not reaching your greatest potential is one of the most hurtful things. You ever hear that thing about that story that Les Brown was saying about the ghost of the past?
Yeah.
Right. So you at your deathbed and you got all these ghosts that came up. They're all your ideas that you never acted on. And they came to you so you can bring them to life, but now they must die with you in this room. Most people have the most regret when they're on their deathbed. All because of potential. We don't want that. We want you to actualize your potential. We want you to take your life to the next level and do it faster than you ever thought that you could. We want you to expedite your growth, but we also want you to do it with other partners. You don't got to do it alone. This is about community. But the benefit is you get to make impact. You do want to help people. But guess what? You meet people that want to help you too. Now we help each other and we help the world. Look at what we're doing. We're changing lives, man. And it's started with this guided meditation, just a thought, just a principle, just allowing you to see what could be. And then what gets them even worse is I allow them to see from their child's perspective. You go to your younger version's perspective and you look at the current version of you and you look at the higher version. That whole dynamic was what we were talking about, the duality part. Because it's who you are, but look at who you could be. You got the possibility to be a million other different versions. Why are you choosing to be this one? When this one, you don't even like this one. You can't even look at yourself and say beautiful things about yourself. You over there having negative self-talk. We have people look in the mirror, they start crying and talking to themselves. Like you was at the event, you pointed out to me, right? You pointed out to me. You got people crying at the event. So, and that's why it's a blessing to meet y'all, because I think we're going to be locked in, man. I just know that we're going to be locked in. This is alignment, synchronicity, and I appreciate y'all, man.
Nah, 100%, man. Sean, Mindset Mogul.
Yeah.
Mindset Mogul crew. You know what I'm saying? I just appreciate you coming into the podcast, Attractive Mindset Podcast, where We help people understand that people, whether they're in a 9-to-5 situation, whether they're in a entrepreneurship situation, whether they just live life, achieve a certain amount of success. Because success, just like during my PowerPoint, is different for everybody. And so we let people see how people got to where they are in their life right now, whether that's an athlete, whether that's an entrepreneur, whether that's a 9-to-5 individual. There's a lot of different people that can share value, share knowledge, and help somebody in their life. And so thank you for just coming on the show, man. And if people wanted to tap in with you, learn more about you, find more about you, work with you, where could they do that at?
Absolutely. And I appreciate you, bro. You articulated that very well. I want you to know success is something you attract by the person you become. You got to become an attractive person. I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to help you make 4, 5, 6 figures in a day, whatever it is. It ain't about the money. It's about the impact first. We got to get you to become more effective in less time. The things that took you 30 days, we got to get you to do it in 3 days. The things that took you 2 years to do, we got to get you in 2 months. But we're going to do that by connecting you through strategic partnerships that create multiple streams of impact that lead to multiple streams of income. You can find me on my app, Love Plus. I'm not going to shout out my Instagram. Y'all could just Google that. Everything that I said, you could Google. Being one of the people, I didn't mention this, but being one of the top companies to empower women and girls, right? Yeah, I don't think you know too many people doing that. And this was New York Weekly, LA Weekly. So shout out to them for just holding that down. Like I said, you could Google all of this stuff, but find me on my app, loveplus.com. Right? That's the site. You can go there, or you can go straight to your app store, Love Plus Transformation, and you can download that. I want to say this. If you want faster access, all you got to do is text me the word app to 646-787-0689. And last word, you can text. If y'all want transformation, text transformation to that number 2. We can get started working on you so that way you can become the best version of yourself and take it to another level.
Absolutely. And so y'all in the audience know what time it is right now. So how we usually do it is, and it's up to you. Not everybody does it. A good amount of people do it. It's up to you. Again, the choice is. You know what I'm saying? Do you have like a course or a membership to Love or something that you offer?
I do. Right now, we're doing a special, right? And we're doing like the mogul meetups and all of this stuff. But we have an accountability program coming up.
Okay.
This accountability is year round, right? So text me accountability to that same number, 646-787-0689. Text me the word accountability and we'll give you the information to be accountable. You also can go online and get one of my books, right? Becoming More Effective in Less Time is our flagship book. So either way, it's just when you text that number, you text me those keywords, depending on what you want, that's what we'll send you. All right. So once again, that number is 646-787-0689. And y'all can start using this tactic. Y'all see this? Instead of just giving you one link, I'm telling you how to get what I offer you in the same place. All you gotta do is drop me the keyword. All right. So anything y'all heard us speak about, drop the keyword and you're gonna be able to get that thing. Right. But Becoming More Effective in Less Time, one of my best-selling books, and it has changed a lot of people's lives. No cap. I don't need to put on the front or anything. I'm just here being authentic and seeing how many people I can help transform their lives as well as transform my own. And let us get to the top of the top, the best of the best, cream of the crop.
And so now for the thing, I would like for you, it's up to you, to give away 3 offers.
Okay.
For free.
Yes.
Of the trial subscription, like a month or something to Love Plus, or your course for free, something like that. Because how we help our community, and this is how I directly like to give back to our community for the people we have on here. One, they just spent this is probably almost like 2 hours. Yeah, they just spent 2 hours watching this. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to give them back. They spent time on us. They spent their time on us, and they could be doing a whole lot of other things. They only got 24 hours in a day, and they spent that time on us. If they make it to this part of the video, somewhere along the video, right, it's not going to be right at the end, so they can just skip to the end. We're going to pop up the code Love Plus somewhere in the video. You got to watch the video to see it pop up. And if they send us a DM with the timestamp that pops up on, they get whatever you're offering them.
So one, you're going to get the app for free, number one, because that app is actually a subscription-based app, but we're going to give that to you for free, right? All right, cool. 2, We talking about me speaking. I'm on here as a public speaker, professional speaker, inspirational speaker, motivated speaker. I want to help you speak with confidence because communication is that level that can transform your life and take you to a space where you spend only 20% of your time doing work and 80% of your time enjoying your life versus spending 80% of your time doing work and only 20% of the time enjoying your life. So I'm going to give away that book, Speak with Confidence and Courage, which is going to allow you to speak with confidence and courage and get the things that you want in your life. The third thing I would say, we're going to give you access to our mindset reset calls. So basically, you're going to get that guided meditation. You're going to get that love and inspiration. And we're also going to give you some information to change your situations for future generations.
Absolutely. Y'all heard it here first. And so we're going to pop a code up on the screen sometime during the episode. If you catch it, send us a DM to Attractive Mindset page, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on our Instagram, and we will take care of you. The first 3 people. So make sure y'all tap in. And as we always say, it's your host, Moneybag, Mastermind Rich, and we look good. We live good. Life is good. Talk to us. We talk back, and we out of here.
Peace.